Hi, it's Mary, Queen MLV. Talk to me Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. Once again, I worked on too many things to show you, so I'm going to show you three. First off, there's a new add-on to Electric Quilt called Block Base Plus. It's over 4,000 blocks. At first I didn't think I needed this because it's quite expensive, but because if I see a block, I can make it an EQ8. And so I thought, why do I need 4,000 blocks when I can't possibly use that many? But then I found out that Block Base does everything you can imagine to a block. And it doesn't put them into quilts, I don't think, but I'm going to find out in a couple weeks. Anyway, you can do all kinds of things with these blocks, and if you want just a basic block and you want to print however many in whatever size, it just does it in seconds without opening EQ8. And when you install it, all of the blocks are automatically in EQ8, so that's kind of nice. So anyway, there's this like semi-quilt along that we're looking at. We're highlighting a block every 2 weeks, and with each block, with each of the 2-week lessons, we're pulling up the block and learning things. Like the first one, we just kind of learned our way around EQ8, and so the deal is, use whatever fabrics you want, make the block whatever size you want. And so I got this idea, because I don't know what we're doing at the end. Like I said, I don't know if we're like, now you have however many orphan blocks, or whether we're saying, here's what we're going to do with the blocks. So I decided to make them all different sizes because I like a challenge. And at the end, I'm going to put them into, whether we do it together or I do it by myself, I'm going to put them all into a quilt using the different sizes. And I also decided to use the same fabric that I used for my friends who lost their sons while hanging, because I really like those batiks together. So our first block was the block that I used in theirs, and what happened was we did this block in Block Base Plus lessons, and then a couple days later I made their wall hanging, and that's where I found this block. So this one should look pretty familiar to you, except that I think this is a 12-inch. So that was the first one. And then 2 weeks later, we did another block, which I really like. And with that lesson, we learned more things you can do with block base, and I made this one in a 9-inch. And like I said, these are not new blocks. These are classic blocks. So I have a 9-inch of this and a 12-inch of that. And then this week, we did a third block, and I have a little bit of a trimming problem on one of the, well, I guess on two sides I have trimming problems, but that's easily fixable, right? All my squares, look, all of them have little, oh, got one right. I need to put that back on the cutting board and trim it again. Anyway, this is this week's square, and I did it in a 10-inch. So now I have 9, 10, and 12. So I think in 2 weeks I'm going to do an 11-inch and then see how many more blocks we have. But anyway, I think when these go together, we're going to have quite the cute little quilt. So I have no idea what it's going to look like, where it's going, what it's going to be when it grows up, but it's fun to learn block base, and I am now, when designing in EQ8, popping into block base to do certain things, or grabbing the blocks from block base or whatever. A girl of mine this morning had trouble. She had a very classic block. It's a square and a square and a square, and she decided that she wanted to use 2.5-inch squares to finish down to 2-inch in these on-point things. And no matter what she tried to print, she said, every time she changed the size, it just made the numbers worse. And so I had to apply the I went into block base, found that block, applied the Pythagorean theorem, and no trial and error, just right out the chute said, here's your answer, 5.65 and 5.56, whatever it was, and you're going to have the blocks you want. So I do pop back and forth between them, so I think it was a good investment for me, but I don't really think it's for everybody. I really hesitated on this one. Anyway, that's number one. Number two, I did finish a new block in the Year of Doom, and this is my Winnie-the-Pooh. This is Winnie-the-Pooh book and A Bear Named Winnie movie, not based on the book by a different name. And this is a fun little block. It's a 4-inch block inside a block. So I submitted this outside with the blank here so that anybody who wants to put something sitting on a book next to a book can pop a 4-inch thing into there. So that was another personal challenge of mine, and I think the block turned out cute. So I think that's my 19th block on the Year of Doom. And number 3, the reveal. Remember last week I told you that I had created this perfect book, and nobody really commented on my perfect book saying, yeah, I didn't invent that one. Anyway, these are my 4-inch blocks all pieced together, and those of you who guessed I was going to put it in a border, you are correct. It is a border, a 4-inch border from here up. And then I've made these cornerstones. And I put it, this is the first of 4 borders. One of the borders is only going to be a 1-inch solid white because of what's coming in the next 2. But this is the first of 3 interesting and 1 boring borders that's going to be on this. And I'm going to pop in a picture here for you because I don't think you can see it all. This will be hanging in my dining room at Molly's house, which is going to be a black and white kind of Art Deco. So here's the middle. And I don't know how much of that you can see, but I'm proud of it. It took a lot of work in the design phase, and it took a lot of work in the sewing phase. The sewing, it became an in-between project, long strips, all the same size. So, didn't really feel the piecing of it. The inside strips, all the same width. These are all the same width, and these are all the same width. So, it was just a matter of cutting strips and sewing them together. So, and it's nice and crinkly. I love, some people love, I know a lot of you love when you get the quilt out of the dryer, how good that feels. I like the crinkliness. So, I'm going to rip that paper off and it'll lose crinkliness. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. Now, I'm going to put in here right now a snip of just the part I've done, the inside with the 1 border. And the other 3 borders are going to have to, well, I told you what one of them is, but the other 2 borders are going to have to be a mystery to you. And you cannot believe how excited I am to, it's going to motivate me to paint that room. It's not painted yet. It's in the house that's been renovated. That room is not even paint. It's going to be wallpaper. That room is not even ready for wallpaper. So this is going to motivate me to, I have 2 really fun things to put on the wall in there. And I'm going to now be motivated to get those walls ready, get them wallpapered, and get this hanging on it because I'm having fun with it. So that's all I have. Let me put a picture of that in here for you, and hope to see all of you and catch up on what you're up to.